Now let's talk in details about the friction in the labor market. In the last video, I said that when we talk about friction in the labor market, there is friction from the employee side and also there is friction from the employer side. So in this video, let's talk a bit about friction from employee side. And the first thing that we need to talk about, the friction from employee side, is to talk about the law of one price, or in short, LOP. What the law of one price says, it says that people with equal skills within the same occupation should receive the same level of wages. That means people with having same skills within same occupation should not face to wage differential. But we have to add one more thing in this law, that if they work in completely identical environment. Otherwise, if they work completely in different situation, in different environments, so there won't be wage differential. So within the law of one price, we have three assumptions. The first one is everyone have access to information in the labor market. And information in the labor market is costless, is free. And everyone has free access to information within the labor market. The next assumption is that mobility or job search in the labor market is also costless. That means if you want to move from one employer to another employer, you don't need to pay any cost. You don't need to bear any cost. The third assumption is that labor supply curve is horizontal. Labor supply curve is horizontal. That means with the same level of wages, employer can hire as many workers as it needs. But let's talk about in reality. Is information costless? Is mobility or job search costless? Or is the supply curve horizontal? When we talk about this one, we need to consider information is not costless. Everyone needs to pay some cost to have access to clear, concise, correct information. Otherwise, there are information, but we don't know they're correct or not. So that's why if we want to have correct information, there is costs. Even if you are searching for a job in internet or in exhibition, still attending to exhibition for getting information about the job, need to pay some costs. Having access to information in internet or job platform needs some costs. And also when it comes to mobility or job search, is not costless. It has also cost. It has application cost, it has interview cost, it has travel, it has psychological costs. For example, of application costs like printing your CVs, making your application profile, it needs costs, it needs, you need to consume some time for that. And also interview costs. For having your interview with your new employer, you may buy some like new clothes, and that's buying new clothes may be you some costs. And also travel costs. If you go from one place to another place, to one employer to another employer, you have to pay some travel costs. And also it gave you some psychological cost, which is like a kind of hidden cost for you. So that's why these costs will lead that labor supply curve is no more horizontal. It will become upward trend, because different group of people may have different mobility costs. And this mobility cost may lead to having more elastic labor supply or less elastic labor supply. Workers which they have higher mobility costs leads to less elastic labor supply, and the response of workers to changes in the wage rate within the labor market will be low because it's less elastic. If the wage rate changes, they cannot change their behavior too much. But if the mobility cost is low, then the labor supply curve for those group of workers will be more elastic. It means they will have higher responsiveness against the changes in the wage level within the market. So by having mobility cost, we have no more horizontal supply curve. We have upward trend supply curve. And the slope of this upward trend supply curve depends on how much mobility cost a group of workers have, and related to either the mobility cost may lead toward the least elastic labor supply or more elastic labor supply. For example, if this is the initial wage rate, with this initial wage rate, both of them, like more elastic labor supply, least elastic labor supply, we have E0 or equilibrium employment level with having like $9.25 hourly wage rate. But if the hourly wage rate, for example, decline from $9.25 to just $9, each group of workers, based on their elasticity level or mobility cost, will have different reaction for these changes in wages. For this one, which they have more elastic labor supply curve, so when the wage rate decrease, their employment level will decline from E0 to EL. L means like lower mobility cost, H means higher mobility cost. But for the group of workers which they have higher mobility cost, which they are less elastic, when the wage rate change or decline from $9.25 to $9, so they will move from E0 to EH. Not big response. So why within this market they move a lot, like more realistic labor people? Because they will find mobility less costly and they move to other market. But for this group of people, which is their less realistic, higher mobility cost, they don't have this opportunity to move to other market. That's why they don't show a big changes. Another case, when the wage rate increase from this portion to this portion, from 9.25 to 9.50, again, the group of people which more realistic labor supply curve, they show high responsiveness. They move from E0 to EL prime. They supply more level of work to this labor market. Even some other people will move to this labor market because now this labor market will pay higher wages, this kind of category of workers. But again, this less elastic workers, they will move from E0 just to EH prime, not so much big response. So that's why the law of one price, it means paying same wage to same group of people with having same scale within occupation, there's no wage differential, it doesn't work anymore. Because based on the mobility cost and information cost, we will have upward trend labor supply, and this upward trend labor supply, we will have different category of labor supply curve based on elasticity, less elastic, more elastic. when there's least realistic and more realistic, then the responsiveness of different group of workers on changes in wages will be different. So this is one of the friction in the labor market that comes from the employee side, which mobility costs will make these frictions. Because higher mobility cost, that means higher friction. Lower mobility cost, lower friction. So this is one of the example of employee side friction in the labor market. We will talk about the other example in the next videos. For this video, this is it. Thank you so much. I hope to like this video and hit the subscribe button and share the video for other colleagues and fellows in order to enjoy this video as much as I enjoy from making these videos. I hope to see you in the next video. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, share your ideas. Thank you so much for watching this video. Enjoy your time. Good luck.